6. Star Trek. The original series Season 1 episodes you can completely skip. When fans talk about Star Trek, the original series Season 1, the conversation usually centers on its brilliance. Episodes like Balance of Terror, The City on the Edge of Forever, and Space Seed cemented the franchise's legacy forever. But let's be honest, even Star Trek stumbled. For every classic that made us think deeply about humanity's future, there were a few entries that dragged, confused, or outright disappointed. That doesn't mean these episodes are without historical value. TOS is breaking new ground in science fiction television. But if you're new to Star Trek and want to experience the best of the first season without filler, here are 6 episodes you can completely skip. 1. The Alternative Factor. If there's one Star Trek episode that nearly everyone agrees is a confusing mess, it's this one. The Alternative Factor introduces Lazarus, a man at war with his parallel universe counterpart. On paper, that sounds like a fascinating sci-fi premise. In execution, it's a disaster. The story is repetitive, the editing disjointed, and the endless shots of Lazarus stumbling around and shouting grow tiresome fast. Even William Shatner seems lost in the chaos. It doesn't help that the original production faced rewrites and casting issues that gutted the script of any coherent direction. The result is an episode that feels more like a fever dream than classic Star Trek. If you're doing a rewatch, you won't miss a thing by skipping it. 2. The Squire of Gothos. Yes, I can already hear some fans protesting. Trellin, the flamboyant godlike trickster, is often seen as a prototype for Q from the Next Generation. But here's the issue. As charming as actor William Campbell is, the episode is basically a one-note story stretched to 50 minutes. Trellin plays dress-up, toys with the crew, and lectures Kirk in melodramatic fashion. The episode repeats the same pattern over and over until the inevitable reveal that Trellin is just a child playing with advanced technology. While this childish god idea is a Star Trek staple, the execution here lacks the nuance and wit of later godlike encounters. Watching Trellin prance around might be amusing once, but it doesn't hold up compared to the tightly written power entity episodes like Where No Man Has Gone Before. 3. Miri. What if you combined a post-apocalyptic wasteland with a Lord of the Flies-style child society? That's the premise of Miri, and while the concept is intriguing, the episode drags under the weight of poor pacing and awkward performances. The makeup effects for the disease look more silly than frightening, and the central plot, our crew infected and racing against time, never delivers the tension it promises. The biggest problem, though, is the uncomfortable undertone of Kirk bonding with the teenage Miri in a way that feels cringeworthy to modern viewers. Miri has moments of interest, but if you're curating a Season 1 watch list, it's absolutely skippable. 4. Operation Annihilate. As the season finale, you'd expect fireworks. Instead, Operation Annihilate gives us flying pancakes. Okay, technically they're parasitic alien creatures, but the visual design is so laughable it undermines any sense of danger. The episode isn't a complete disaster. Spock battling to resist mind control offers some compelling moments. But the cheap-looking special effects and repetitive parasite attack beats make the story hard to take seriously. It's especially disappointing because it tries to end Season 1 with a bang, but ends up limping to the finish line. Unless you're determined to see how the first season closes, this one is safe to skip. 5. Shore Leave. On paper, Shore Leave is meant to be a light-hearted breather episode. The crew beams down to a planet that magically makes fantasies come to life. What could go wrong? Well, the answer is a lot. Instead of whimsical, the episode comes across as goofy and unfocused. Kirk fights an old rival, McCoy flirts with a literal fairy tale princess, and crew members are randomly attacked by samurai, tigers, and knights. The explanation that an alien amusement park is behind it all feels rushed and doesn't justify the chaotic tone. While some fans enjoy its camp value, most first-time viewers will find it jarring and out of place next to the more serious, thoughtful episodes. 6. Court Martial. A courtroom drama in space sounds like a fantastic premise. Star Trek would later nail this formula with episodes like TNG's The Measure of a Man and DS9's Tribunal. Unfortunately, court-martial is not one of those successes. Kirk stands accused of negligence that led to a crewman's death, and while the setup promises high-stakes drama, the execution is sluggish. The trial scenes,